All right, for those guys who just can't believe we're taking these stock 2GRs, you know, to these power levels, here's the proof right here. Stock pistons, stock rods, stock everything, baby. Well guys, I hope you had a great Christmas. It seems like Christmas has exploded in my garage, so I need to get in here and clean it, organize it. Then we're gonna get the engine taken apart and get the pistons and rods put in. So let's get to it. All right, let's get to cleaning. All right. Whew. That was exhausting. All right, guys, enough of the shenanigans. We're gonna get over here. Garage is nice and clean. We're gonna go over here. I got everything set up. We're going to take apart this 2GR and get the pistons and rods in hopefully today. All right, so the first step here I'm gonna take is I'm just gonna remove both the valve covers. Then I'll show you how clean this engine looks inside. I've run nothing but ethanol in it. So here's the first side off. So nice and clean in there. I do frequent oil changes. I was doing oil changes probably less than 1,000 miles just to keep it nice and fresh. This engine, like I said, had been sitting in the back of the shop. We don't know the mileage on it, but I do know it's from a 2011 Sienna, but it looks great in there. As you can see, this side is just as clean. Super nice in there. All right, I got the oil pan off, and just as I thought, there's 3, but there's one more over there in the corner, so I guess I forgot about one. There's a couple roller bearings in there too, but if you're worried about why I didn't get those out, I just left them in there. They're heavy enough to sit at the bottom of the oil pan, and there's a screen in there, so it won't go through the oiling system. It'll be just fine. And plus I knew I was taking this engine apart and putting rods and pistons in it, so it lasted, whoa, let's see here, probably a couple of months like that. So it's no big deal. On we go. Time to remove the bottom part of the oil pan, or the top part, I mean, of the oil pan, and then we'll take off the cover. All right, we got the upper pan off, and while I'm here, I'm just gonna go ahead and take the pickup tube off and the windows tray off. All right, there it is. Windows tray's off. Looking good. Very clean in there. No play in any of the rods. Man, it is great engine to take apart. All right, I got everything marked how I like to do it. To each their own, but this works for me. Works very well. Just mark it, and I take pictures. Because let's be honest, I'm old and I'll forget. I'll go ahead and get this timing chain off and all the guides, and I'll come over here and I'll start taking the, well, okay, let me tell you something. This back here, I don't take these apart. So this stays, this chain, so I don't have to mark it. So I take this all out as, this is a cam bed. I take it all out as one. I'm not replacing the cams, I'm running the stock cams, so I don't have to worry about that on either side. So I just leave that in there. Just as a little note for that. So let me go ahead and get the timing chain off and start taking the cam beds out. All right, we got the valve rockers off on both sides. And like I did with the timing cover bolts, I went ahead and just did with the rockers. Now, while this isn't necessary for anything, I just like to keep them in order. You don't have to do that. Just something that I do. But let's go ahead and get these cylinder heads unbolted and off, and we'll be down to the short block. All right, for those guys who just can't believe we're taking these stock 2GRs, you know, to these power levels, here's the proof right here. Stock pistons. Ain't nothing. These things can take some abuse, man. We'll flip it over. Oh. Maybe. There we go. Flip this thing over, real time here, and there it is, stock rods, stock everything, baby. We're taking this thing to the moon. Easy 650. We'll do more, but at your own risk, you know what I'm saying? Guys, I got the pistons and rods out, all stock there, you can see. Got the crank cleaned up here. Just going to confirm my measurements with the rod bearings, and then I'm going to give the cylinders just a quick little hone here. Just kind of freshen them up, get that glazing off of there. Be good to go. Alright guys, I ball honed these cylinders really quick. Not machine shop quality, but good enough to get the glazing off. Give me a little crosshatch in there. Enough for these piston rings that now I have to gap. 12 of these bad boys, the top ring and the bottom ring. Definitely not going to film this because this is very long, very tedious stuff, but once we get those all gapped, I'll go ahead and roll the camera. I mean, a clear spot over here on the table. Put the piston rings and stuff, get them organized. I got all the rings gapped how I like it. Now we just got to put the rods on the pistons, the rings on the pistons, and then we'll shove them in the hole. So we'll put these together. You just make sure everything is really lubricated. You find the intake ports are always going to go towards the intake, exhaust to the exhaust. But you know, just lube her up. Don't be shy, baby. Make sure the pin slides in easy. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Nice and easy. Clip it in one side. All right. Take the rod. Actually, we'll take this here. Get it started on the opposite side. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Take the rod in here. We already lubed the rod up. Make sure it's centered there. Push it through. Okay. My hands are now slippery from the oil, so bear with me here as I try not to lose this grip on this clip. Oh. It's going to be one of those nights, I see. Had to go retrieve that from under the welder. There we go. There we go. Free movement. Good. Nice and oiled down. Good. And there's one. We'll put the piston rings on it. So I'm just going to take the middle oil control ring here, throw it on. Take one of these is the bottom of that ring, and one goes to the top of that ring. First one on the bottom. Tried to go on the top, but we want it on the bottom. You will live on the bottom, please. Thank you. Okay. And then this one on the top. Don't want you to do that. We want you in the right one. Okay. And then we'll take the second ring. There's a little step right here. We need that to go down to pull the oil down off the cylinder, not up. If it goes up, it's bad. And then the top ring, we'll put opposite there, right here. That has either, usually these have like a little dimple or a letter. See, I almost put it in upside down. All right, number 6 is ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and knock out the rest of these off camera, get the bearings ready, and then tomorrow I'll drop in the pistons and rods or whatever, and then we'll have a full rotating short block. So here we go. All right, guys, I got the first one in. Look at that. TCS written on there. It's so cool. All right, bottom end is built. Looking good. These Tron TCS pistons look great.